Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. Had a couple man-mans in there. Let's do some coins. Let's hit a bike bell because we're back, baby. Feels like it's been a minute since we've been here because it has been. It's been about a week. This is a show that is part of the Believe network of podcasts. Subscribe to the podcast if you wouldn't mind. What is going on, Clint Nation? Happy Monday to you all. Happy Dodgers win a series over the weekend while I'm gone to you all, and happy first Monday Night Football to you all. I'm not watching. I don't know if you guys are watching, but if you are watching, let me know the score. Let us know the score along the way. But on today's show, well, I'm talking to you guys. Let's have some comments. We got a Teoscar Hernandez update fresh from Dodger Stadium. I have some thoughts about the Guardian series that I didn't admittedly watch a whole lot of, caught a lot of the highlights and things I like from it. And I named my official secret weapon for this Dodgers team this year. We also got to wonder, hey, are the Dodgers cursed? Because the injuries don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. So we'll talk about that. Thoughts about the Gavin Stone situation. A couple voicemails to mix in. If you guys got the number, call in during the show if you feel like it. If not, I'll probably start doing a better job of actually promoting voicemails. But yeah, let's previewing Cubs series as well. All that, another edition of All Dodgers Live. First, I got to tell you, though, of course, my name is Clint Postseason. Find me as Real FRG on the social media machines. If you're looking for another follow, I'm a longtime baseball writer, sports editor. I've been covering the Dodgers for years here on the YouTube, and now I do it here on my own personal YouTube channel. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy anything you hear. Hit the thumbs up button if you hate everything you hear. All those things go a long way. Also, if you guys listen to the show on a podcast feed, if you guys can leave a review there, a rating, those things also very much help out the show. Apple, Spotify, wherever you're able to do it. But yeah, let's get into some of the comments here. I want to see what people are saying in the chat. I see my guy Noah Ortega first in the chat today. Says he'll be listening, but of course is working at the moment. Says, hi everyone, how you doing, Noah? We'll hear from him later. He's got a voicemail in here. BC in the chat. Joel Rodriguez with an eggplant. This is a family show. Showtime LA. What's going on, Showtime LA? This is Clint Nation. That's right. We rise up. Some asshole called All Dodgers with Clint Postseason is in here. I don't like that guy. We should give him the boot. Our friend Doom Sal is in the chat. Daniel Barry Sports in the chat. Dave Fuller says it's Monday, but he's having a beer. Cheers to you, Dave. This I could lie and say is something, but it's not. It's just water right now. I'm on a water kick. I don't think we're going to be doing a $5 shot day. Just doesn't seem like a good idea. But if you guys start sending $5 shots, or $5 for shots, I guess I got to take them. But I'm not calling for it. I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is tell you, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football, or foosball, which they say is for the devil. Somebody said that in the comments as well. But from your NFL kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads while games are being played. And if you think you know your stuff, you can get in on their $200,000 mega contest. That's right. It's so good. It's mega. You can pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200K. If there's not a game happening or if the game's over, head on over to their online casino, get in on a game of blackjack, poker, unwind with over 150 slot games available to do the thing. Go do that. You can entertain yourself or whatever. Head to the website today, get in on the action, bet online. The game starts here. And the show starts now. Clayton Lockhart gets it. Clayton Lockhart says, what up, Clint? Just smash that thumbs up button. Go Dodgers. Also, turned 63 today. Go Clayton. Hey, happy birthday, Clayton. Our second favorite Clayton in the world. Of course, Kershaw. We've got a Kershaw update coming a little bit later in the show. But happy birthday to Clayton Lockhart. Kevin Uhas, our friend, says, we love those $5 shots. I mean, I got the bottle here, but we should probably try to have a fair show, a normal show. I don't even know what normal is anymore, but yeah, I gotta sound off in the comments. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll mix into the show as well. We do got to get into the Teoscar Hernandez update right now because as you guys know, last week takes a breaking ball to the front foot. That left foot exited the game. Our hearts dropped. We're like, no, this is one of those guys you absolutely cannot lose. Teoscar Hernandez. Thankfully, not going on the IL. You saw it over the weekend. The scan, CT scan, all the X-rays, everything came back clean. No breaks in that foot. He said today, did Teo, left foot is still a little sore, but he's expected to be available on this towards the end of this homestand. Possibly tomorrow is what they're hoping. Dave says, depending on how things feel for him tomorrow. He could be in the game Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. I'm okay with them giving him a few days if he needs it, and it's not gonna, I don't think him playing on the foot will affect anything or get him worse, make it worse. But I would still be okay with them kind of giving him a little break of rooting if they need to, or if he needs to. He's still got a few weeks to ramp back up. So even if it's just miss these next 3 games, and you're down on Thursday because of off day, and you start the series in Atlanta, get going again, I'm okay with that. But thankfully, nothing terrible for once. Nothing terrible to one of our guys. Teoscar Hernandez could, possibly might be back in the lineup tomorrow against the Show Cubs. Our friend Richie, I'm going to mix in some of the voicemails today on the show. Our friend Richie called the voicemail this morning or this afternoon. He had some thoughts, as Richie does, about a number of things. But this one, we do focus on the Teoscar Hernandez situation. So let's hear from Richie for a bit.
Well, Clint, as I always say, happy Monday. But today's not a happy Monday because I just found out. I looked myself up in the family tree and I found out I was the sap. But I digress. So let's talk about this past week, shall we? That's not all gloom and doom. We dodged a bullet with Teoscar. He's going to be healthy and back in the lineup this week. How many of you had to run to the bathroom to change your shorts, which I'm sure that a shower was in order first. So once you found out that they had to yank him out of the game and Dave said those infamous words, it ain't looking good. And Bobby Miller. I love me some Bobby Miller. He's a young dude. He's got a lot more road ahead of him than behind him. And, of course, he's never going to pitch this way. I mean, he's going to figure it out, and he's going to have a wonderful career and hopefully a long one wearing Dodger blue. But for right now, it's just time to shut the dude down. That was just an embarrassment on Wednesday. Not an embarrassment as far as a lack of effort. We knew he was trying, but he just isn't right. I don't think he's right in the head, and he's not right physically. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, that 5th inning, I've seen better arms on the chair. But it's all going to come down to this. We can pull our hair out all we want. We can throw out all of the statistics. The talking heads on the national side can bring up all the issues that they want. But at the end of the day, we are going to succeed or fail with what we have on the roster going into October, period. So our offense is solid. It's really going to come down to that and how strong the back end of our bullpen. And for some way that we can milk 4 or 5 innings out of our bullpen in the postseason every night and be flawless and be strong like they're capable of, and the offense covers up the run differential, then we're going to be just fine. And again, I'll say this one more time. We're going to win or succeed with what we got. And finally, enough of this Ohtani stuff. I mean, all the negative talk, all the other fan bases saying that Lindor should be the MVP because he plays every day. Well, so does Shohei, but he's a DH and blah, 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 blah. I'm enjoying it. Let's just enjoy it. F all those people on the outside of our bubble. He's doing something special. Except for Puig. Name me the last guy that you went out of your way to make sure that you didn't miss a single at-bat. So let's just enjoy the ride. We're going to win the division. We're going to be fine. And whatever the baseball gods have in store for us in October, there's not a damn thing we can do about it but just watch. So F the Dodger Stadium parking lot. F the Padres. F Manny Machado. F everybody who thinks that Lindor should be the MVP. And for the love of God, F the Ghost Runner. See ya.
Our guy, Richie in Devore. Appreciate you calling in, Richie. Couple things to latch in on there. I see a comment as well. Chico Dopeness saying, asking what's up with Stoner. We're going to talk about Gavin Stone a little bit later on in the stream. But the Bobby Miller thing, that was a disappointing start from Robert Miller, and we've mentioned a few times, like, did he pitch his way out of any sort of postseason consideration? And I think that one did. Unless there's, more injury. Luckily, right now, we mentioned we're going to talk more about the Stone situation. He's somebody who is injured, but Yamamoto is coming back tomorrow. Glasnow is, as Dave might say, on the come. You're doing some positive things. You're stepping into positive directions with some of those guys, which should eliminate the need for a very bad Bobby Miller. So I would not be opposed to shutting him down. I mean, you keep the arm loose in case there is something like a break in case of emergency situation in the postseason. But if you're at that point, something else already went very, very wrong. I was talking about, maybe I didn't do it on this channel, but I was talking about postseason, kind of the pecking order and rotation, and Big Game Bob all the way at the bottom of my list at this point. He's going to get another start, another couple starts potentially, but I just cannot envision seeing that dude making any sort of meaningful contributions to this team in the month of October. Another one of the things Richie and DeVore said in his voicemail, they were talking about the team, liking this team. This is the team we have, is obviously the team that is going to make or break it for us in October, and we're going to talk about that in a second here. What I liked about the Cleveland series, because there was a lot of things offensively, even if they didn't put up a lot of runs, they didn't put up a lot of points, there's still a lot of things offensively to very much like about this team. But before we dive into that, I'm going to take a couple more of the voicemails here. Doom Sal saying he's got a prediction. Buehler has his best game tonight and makes the case to be in the playoff rotation. So funny enough, I was just having a conversation earlier today with one of our callers as well, Mr. Hammy 0023. He was going to the game tonight, disappointed about it being a Walker Buehler start. And I feel this is lined up to be, well, if you say his best start, Walker Buehler's best start was against the Reds in his, second start of the season. I think this is going to be his actual true best start of the season. I think the stars are aligned. He's going, I will throw this prediction out now. He will give up a home run to Cody Bellinger because that's just what's going to happen. It's in the script. But I'm saying 2 earned over 6 innings for Walker, and that's going to be the thing this is going to be the outing that cements him at least a role in the playoff bullpen on the pitching staff. Maybe not necessarily in the starting rotation, but that kind of depends on Gavin Stone and others. We got something massive here. Holy shit, our friend, the Right Field Pavilion, $100 super chat. Thank you so damn much. Right Field Pavilion says, take a shot. Oh, shit. I mean, I don't know how many. So if it's 100 divided by 5, that's a lot of shots. I will take a beefy shot for our friend Right Field Pavilion and $100 super chat. Thank you very much. Love that dude, or that person, whatever. I love that dude. Cheers, guys. Yum. Just like Mom used to make. Oh, that is good. That is good. But thank you again, Right Field Pavilion. Also, Right Field Pavilion has a prediction. Says Otami hits a homer and steals a base tonight. It also says like and subscribe to the show, guys. Like and subscribe to the All Dodgers podcast here on YouTube, here on the podcast platforms. All those things really do go a long way, so we appreciate you guys. Jenny Vega in the chat also saying hit that like button. Appreciate Jenny hanging out with us as always. Our friend Bob Nightingale in the chat. Sergio Sounds asking, why isn't Kopech a 9th inning lock? I just don't think Dave wants to put a bona fide or he does not want to officially anoint a closer. That's where I'm at. I don't think he does. I think if we're talking Dave, he's going to get the lion's share of 9th innings is Michael Kopech, but if you can get him against the very best run of dudes in the lineup, in the opposite lineup, the opposing lineup, and you're able to throw in Anthony Bonda in the 9th inning because you're facing, 8-9-1 or something like that, I would rather them get the best outs. I don't think that you need a bona fide closer, a guaranteed closer. You don't need to have the anointed, you are the guy closer. in October. That's kind of where I'm at on that one. But Pinsanity said because the toughest outs aren't always in the ninth. Kevin Newhouse, the organization does not want a closer. I think the game is evolving. Again, I think the game is changing a little bit. And, I mean, people are going to have their guys who are more often than not going to get the ninth inning. But the way bullpens are built now and the way guys and starters are going 4 or 5, maybe 6 innings, I just don't know that the closer's role is going to be around for that much longer. Let's do a burp real quick. I'm going to butcher the name, but Tian Yang, did I say that right or did I say it wrong? Let me know in the comments below. But asking, is the final spot coming down to Pages and CT3? I think you could also throw Kiermaier in there. We know this organization seems to like Kevin Kiermaier a whole lot, but Andy Pages, what he can do power-wise with the bat, what he can do versus left-handed pitching, that goes a long way. I personally take Pages over Kevin Kiermaier. That's just me. I think they have some other options on the roster that would be maybe not as good as Kevin Kiermaier in center field, defensively or what have you, but you have some guys with Tommy Edman. You have Chris Taylor who can play a fine enough center field. You have Kike Hernandez who can play a fine enough to plus center field. So I don't think you need Kevin Kiermaier, who's probably not going to hit very much in the postseason. So either way, I don't think Andy Pages or CT3 would hit very much in the postseason. But that's my take. It's between Pages, CT3, and Kiermaier. CT3's got a spot. They love that. They love that dude. BC says anyone is better than Taylor. Talk to Dave about that one, my friend. But let's move on right now. Let's talk about what I liked from that Cleveland series. I liked the fact that Dodgers pitching gave up just 5 runs against a pretty decent offense with those Cleveland Guardians. Landon Knack kind of pressed into duty, 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits, 8 punch. My guy, Scott Gearman, loves himself some Landon Knack, kind of one of those sneaky dudes who could find his way up on the roster. Up in the depth chart when it comes to starting pitching, when it comes to somebody who can get you multiple innings out of the bullpen in the postseason series. Could be that dude. It could be Landon Knack. I take Landon Knack over Bobby Miller in a heartbeat. I take Landon Knack over bullpen game now in a heartbeat. I don't take him over Walker Buehler. I don't take him over Gavin Stone. I don't take him over Clayton Kershaw, even though we haven't seen him in a good little bit. But Landon Knack, nice outing there. Bullpen game on Saturday, which I don't think anybody was ready for a bullpen game. They crushed it. They did a great job, led by Ryan Brazier, who you don't know what his role is going to be, honestly, if he even has one in the postseason. So he's kind of pitching for his job because there are some other options. Walker Buehler, if everybody's healthy, is going to need a spot in the bullpen. Landon Knack, maybe he is one of those guys who can offer up some versatility. And then, of course, what Jack Flaherty did. We already talked about Jack Flaherty earlier today on Dodgers territory. Check it out, myself, Alana Rizzo. But you love Jack Flaherty, and he's kind of somebody asked in the comments earlier, as I see a $4.99 super chat from our friend Richard Flores. Richard Flores says, you heard it here first. Ohtani gets his 50th jack and stolen base versus the Padres. We clinch on that night while giving Machado the double birds. F the Padres. Appreciate you, as always, Richie in Devore. And guys, I'll throw it out now. There will be a live broadcast at some point at the DeVore Man Cave. We just need the Dodgers to go deep enough in October, and we're going to make something fun happen for sure. But what I was getting to is there was a comment about who I would want to start Game 1. I'm sorry, I forget who it was that asked the question. I'm trying to find it here. But who I would want to be the Game 1 starter, I've maintained I want it to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Absolutely do. I'm not opposed to Jack Flaherty at this point now. Initially, when they picked him up, I was looking at, hey, this is a guy who could be their number 3 guy, like their guaranteed number 3 guy. But all of a sudden, he's throwing up, 7 1/3, looking good on a nasty LA Sunday where, like I said on DT earlier, it was so bad, so hot, the Dodgers actually gave away water for free, and my dude pitches into the 8th inning. So, like he told reporters, hey, he grew up in the IE or wherever he grew up in the hot part of local enough to was it the Valley? I guess the Valley, right? I got the not IE. He grew up in the Valley, but even so, if everybody's healthy, I want Yamamoto. If Yamamoto does still good as he comes back tomorrow and makes his next series of starts until the end of the regular season, maybe it might be Jack Flaherty. The good thing is that we have this question. We have options. The Dodgers have options because last year they didn't quite have options. 21 or 22, less in the way of options, but looking back to last year, it was like, oh, well, Kershaw's shoulder's falling off, but he had good ERA, so he do good pitch now, right? Oh, no, he didn't. So Flaherty, Nando 390 says Jack Flaherty definitely smashed last night. Yes, he did. Pinsanity in the Valley, thank you. It is the Valley where Flaherty was born and did all of that hot pitching in the past, but yeah, BC Flaherty has a sub-3 ERA like Yamamoto, 2.61 ERA since joining the Dodgers. And you have to really have the argument now, did the Dodgers win the trade deadline? Because damn well feels like it with him, with Michael Kopech and his, .53 ERA over 17 games, and Tommy Edman doing his thing, playing really, really good defense in center at short. He's able to move around, and he can mix in a little bit of something with the bat. Maybe still figuring some things out. Paul C., I agree with this one wholeheartedly. Deep down in my subcockle regions, Paul C. says, if Yama's right, ride him all the way, and I love that. I love that idea. But pitching doesn't win you every ball game. You also got to put runs on the board, and that's what this offense did. Because Mookie, I want to talk about Mookie in the offense a little bit, because I think in all the pomp and circumstance of Shohei Ohtani and everybody else, Mookie is kind of getting lost in the shuffle a little bit. Even last Thursday, I think, on Dodgers territory, we didn't start talking about Mookie until, we had a comment pointing out, like, hey, you guys aren't talking about Mookie Betts. What he's doing right now, it's pretty damn impressive. He did have 4 hits in the series, all of them with Cleveland, all of them for extra base hits, a couple homers, triple, double in there. He's 13 of his last hits in 13 of his last 14, 20 of his last 25 games since returning from the injured list, and hitting 309 with an OPS just a little under 1,000. He is, I like what Pinsanity says, Mookie is the hottest player on the team, because with all the things that Shohei Ohtani is doing with the bat and with the wheels, what Mookie is doing is bringing in Ohtani if he's stealing bases, and he's slid right back into right field like he never missed a game, never missed a day, and that's somebody this team is absolutely gonna. He's not my X factor. He's not my secret weapon, I should say. He is a X factor for sure, but he needs more love. He needs more respect from national media right now. Mookie is not getting it, and that's what happens when you have the best pay, the highest payroll, the best team, and you have Shohei Ohtani hitting in front of him, but. Beyond Mookie, you got Freddie Freeman hitting 313 with an OPS over 1,000 since taking those couple of games off with the broken finger. Will hitting 320. Will Smith, slow down. Will Smith hitting 320 with an OPS of 850 since I complained about him. So once again, your boy did a thing. Bob Student 10 asking, who is the X Factor? I don't know that I'm ready to anoint an X Factor. I do have a secret weapon, but if I'm being lazy, you can call Will Smith an X Factor, because teams are going to be sleeping on him in October. Especially, we're talking NLDS and early NLCS teams. The opponent could be sleeping on Will Smith after having such a bad stretch of games there. But again, right now, it's a small sample size, like 8 games, hit 320, 850 OPS since I complained about him, since I dared bring up the idea that maybe he needs a little bit of a challenge, maybe he needs somebody breathing down his neck like a Dalton Rushing, who's killing it in AAA. Also got to give some love to Max Muncy, of course, because he gets on base. The slug is there. 256, 876 OPS since returning from the Magic Chiropractor. So all of those guys, very important. Maybe not necessarily my X factors. I will say Will Smith. I'm going to anoint him now. I'm going to write it down right here so I don't forget. Will X. Oh, man, am I going to wonder what the fuck I was talking about there. But my secret weapon, I haven't mentioned him. I didn't talk about him at all. One guy I haven't said. One guy we haven't talked a whole lot about on the internet for a while. Miguel Rojas, Miggy Rowe. That's my secret weapon. A steady 286 hitter. 732 OPS with superb defense at shortstop. The type of dude who you have him down in the lineup, you have him producing, doing any of the little things you need to do to win ball games, especially in the postseason. That's the type of stuff that can be a difference maker in October. We've seen it with a lot of different ball clubs. Those guys that kind of come out of nowhere, you don't expect a whole lot out of them, and they do some damage in annoying ways, in frustrating ways. He can be that guy. I think Miggy Rowe is that guy. That's my secret weapon right there. Don't let the other teams hear this so they know, so they're ready. Don't let them know. But it's going to be Miggy Rowe. Pinsanity, Miggy Rowe is definitely having a nice year. I mean, cannot disagree with that one right now. GI asking the odds on Ohtani going 50-50 in the same game. Well, if he gets one, he's definitely going for the other. I'd say like the way 40-40 happened, it was pretty magical. For it to happen with 50-50, that's tough. But, he's kind of somewhat in control of his own destiny in a way, because he can line up the homers and the stolen bases if he gets a little creative with the bags and the bombas. But let's say it's 50% chance of happening 50-50 in the same game. That's where I'm at for fun, because why not? IB Strokin said the X factor for the Dodgers is I really like fill in the blank in that spot. Yeah, I really liked him in that spot. Watch Chris Taylor, because I'm seeing some Chris Taylor love in the chat here. Jeremy H saying CT3 being in the lineup tonight is a complete buzzkill. It happens when you got an injured Teo, but also you need to know what CT3 is made of at this point. He needs his at-bats. He needs to be able to get a little bit more action, because maybe there is a chance Andy Pajes takes his spot. Maybe there is a chance that Kevin Kiermaier is able to hold on to that final roster spot and they go with the Pajes angle or whatever it may be, and Chris Taylor is on the taxi or something like that. Highly unlikely, just because of the money owed to him and him being one of his guys, one of Dave's guys, one of this team's guys. But he's got to pick up some at-bats anywhere he can right now. You got a 6-game lead in the NL West. You got a 1-game lead for the best record in baseball, I think. Might as well play him. Got to see what you can do in this month of September. So, Jenny Vega, exactly. Let's see what CT does today, because why not? BC says you don't need to know. It's Taylor's batting .218 the last 3 years. It's over 920 at bats. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. The numbers have not been there. He's hitting decently over his last 8 games, and only 3 of those starts. I was looking at the numbers earlier. He's hitting I think it was 3 and change, 320 maybe, 315 over his last 8 games, but 3 of those were starts. So they're picking and choosing his battles. I mean, he's getting a lot of love on from the BABIP gods, but again, you got to see. You got to see what the hell he's going to do for you the rest of the season. Hopefully it's a what have you done for me lately league. You put the rest behind, and if he turns it on, it doesn't matter what he does. Honestly, let's be fair. He's going to be on the roster. Dave Roberts loves this man. This team loves this man. They already cut Jason Hayward. They can't lose another dude. Or they can't cut another dude. Bob Student 10 says, I need a fan. It is hot. It is a hot one out here in the Los Angeles area, the greater La Puente area. But we're doing fine. We're doing okay. We're chilling. We're not chilling, but we're not cooking yet. You boys is a little shiny. It was a long day. But let's see. Or unless you want to be my fan, give me clap for me or something like that. But whatever you want to do, Bob Student 10. Eng or Ing or English, but just the ENG, a supporter here on the YouTube. Appreciate you being a YouTube member. Eng asking a question, Clint. Should Flaherty be our number 1 starter in the playoffs? Kind of addressed it a little bit earlier. I think right now he is. That's where things are at. He's healthy. that's going to go a long way. We get to see tomorrow, what Yamamoto can do, and then the next few weeks, if the shoulder stays together, if he can be anything close to what he was in that New York start, which I don't think he will be. He doesn't need to be that guy. He doesn't need to be throwing upper 90s. Just keep the shoulder in place, get the ball moving forward, get some outs, hit your spots, and Yamamoto, again, if he hadn't gotten injured, he was my number one guy. I would love to see him starting in a game one situation, but I think Flaherty, with the moxie, with the BDE that dude brings to the mound, I think he's kind of earned his way to a game one start, which it's kind of ceremonial anyways. I mean, yeah, obviously you want to win. You need to win game one in a postseason series, but it's not. There's more games to be played, and if you could sneak a win in game one by also having somebody who's very good, and then sneak a win in game two with somebody who arguably is your ace in Yoshinobu Yamamoto, then you're a really good spot. You got a 2-0 lead, and you're able to kind of piecemeal the rest of the situation. But to the question, I think right now, realistically, Flaherty should be the game one starter. That's just where we're at. Let's take a pause here to remind you again, hit that subscribe button if you would not mind. It really helps out the channel. Hit the thumbs up if you like anything we've talked about so far. If you like the fact we're taking comments, hit that thumbs up as well. If you're looking for a different way to support the channel, I got the Patreon set up, patreon.com/realfrg, $5 a month, less than the price of a Dodger dog. You can join us in conversation in the Discord as well. We're always talking there. Unless I'm out of town, then I'm not talking, but there's a whole bunch of your friends or soon-to-be friends talking there on Discord. So that comes with Patreon or with YouTube members, both of them $5 a month. Check it out if you're looking for a different way to support me, support the show, the channel, all that kind of stuff, or just hit that subscribe button, and those things go a long way. But kind of buried the lead a good amount here. Got to talk about those cursed Dodgers, and we do have a voicemail. This is mainly around Gavin Stone, but we do have a voicemail from our friend Noah Ortega. If we're going to overreact on a Monday, you got to hear from our guy, Noah Ortega. So Noah has some thoughts about a number of things, but we got to talk about the curse, this Dodgers curse, and talk about the Gavin Stone situation. So let's hear from Noah real quick.
Well, what up, Clint Nation? It's Noah, as you know. And damn, guys, we are cursed. Literally every week, there is someone that gets injured or is super, super close to being injured. Gavin Stone, and damn, my heart stopped when I saw Teo get hit. Thankfully, though, he's good. We are full of bad luck, guys. In all honesty, at this rate, I feel like the only real way to win the World Series is if our players literally, wear bubble wrap, and on top of that is just stay at home. Because honestly, that's the one thing that the Dodgers have yet to figure out, is how to avoid injury. And guys, Bobby Miller is not good. But I personally think that he is actually injured and is playing through injury, similar to how Tony Gonsolin, the Catman, played in 2023 through injury. Like, if you guys remember when the Dodgers had that 8-run inning versus Seth Lugo, when Mookie hit that grand slam, immediately after that game, Tony Gonsolin got surgery. I see the same thing happening to Bobby Miller. The only reason it hasn't happened yet is because he knows we need him, and we do need him. And on top of that, guys, is the World Series. Given the offense we have, we can so do it. But the pitching, let's just hope an arm doesn't fall off. I give Tyler Glasnow my arm, but unfortunately, it ain't athletic. It's a little too chubby, if you know what I mean. But other than that, though, guys, I'm optimistic that we will win the division. We will make it to the World Series. And if World Series are bust, then we will win. Go Dodgers! Oh, yeah, and don't forget to sign up for Patreon and the Discord. Goodbye.
Hey, we appreciate. Oh, there was a record scratch and then the applause. We appreciate the plug there from our friend Noah Ortega. Guys, hit that subscribe button, or like he said, go sign up on Patreon. Let's keep talking in Discord. I'll be there tonight. Looking forward to that. Actually be able to watch a game and hang out with some of the internet friends. Goat Yachty, our friend Matt, says these dudes need a full engine swap, and I appreciate that because I love some car talk in there. Nando390 says, I'm not superstitious, I'm a little stitious. Michael Scott on this Dodgers curse. So yeah, we got to talk. Curse the Dodgers, am I right? 11 different pitchers currently on the injured list. 13 if you count Nick Frasso and Kyle Hurt on the minor league injured list. Both of those guys down with season-ending injuries. 6 guys total done for the year with injuries, whether it be shoulder or elbow. 7 if things go poorly over the next couple of weeks for Gavin Stone. We're going to talk Stoner in just a second, but what's the number? 17 different dudes have started games for the Dodgers in 2024. Which is insane when you consider what the rotation was to open the season and, you know, the expectations of these guys to, I mean, at the bare minimum, have a bunch of dudes who can go out there and throw 25 starts on the board or something like that. But no, that's just not the reality. That's not the scenario. Something happened. We're cursed. It's been a problem. It's all some sort of, you know, test from the ultimate test from the baseball gods or something like that, because it has been a quite literally a painful season for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And now, yes, we're worried about Gavin Stone. You should be worried about Gavin Stone. Shoulder inflammation, that right shoulder. He was the lone guy who was part of the opening day rotation who made it through the entire season, almost just missed out on making it through the entire season. And now, all of a sudden, he's shut down. Won't be picking up a baseball. 10 to 14 days was the report on Friday. I don't anticipate we see him. It does not sound like we're going to see him as well. Andrew Friedman, Dodgers president of baseball operations, spoke about this situation as well. His quote was, "It's either going to work or it's not. I can sit here and say I'm really optimistic, but we just don't know." That is not a very positive outlook on this Gavin Stone situation. The fact that right now I'm sitting here talking to you, it is September 9th, and, you know, best case scenario, Stoner is picking up a baseball in 10 days from now or something like that. There's not a lot of time. Looking at the calendar, there's not a lot to be optimistic about seeing Gavin Stone back, at least in the regular season, and you got to factor that one in there. But the fallout of this, you need Yamamoto's shoulder. You need Yoshinobu Yamamoto's shoulder to be healthy, to stay together, to be all in one piece. Sorry, we can't give you our shoulder as much as Noah Ortega might want to give you his shoulder in the voicemail, or at least that one going to Tyler Glasnow. But this team needs Jack Flaherty to continue to assume that ace role, which he has done very well since coming here from Detroit about a month ago. This team now, more than ever, needs Walker Buehler to continue to prove my eye test and my gut right, and not me just wanting him to be good, him actually being good. And I think there's something in there. I think we're going to see that in tonight's start. I really, really hope we're going to see that in tonight's start. If I cut this part and I post this as a standalone video and Walker Buehler got hosed or got beat around by the Cubs, I'm going to look pretty bad. But I got a good feeling. That the Walker we're seeing right now is very, very, he is just on the, like, he's walking up. He's about to, not even knock, he's about to blow through the door, Cosmo Kramer style, and be like, I'm all the way back, bitches. That's where I think we're at with Walker Buehler. You know, could Gavin Stone be in play for a later postseason series? That's a question I wonder, because, all right, so again, best case scenario, let's say 2 weeks out from today. So that would put Stone picking up a baseball. Well, let's backdate it a couple. At the best case scenario, if we are saying 14 days, which I think it will be on the longer side. So even if, all right, I'm going to keep backing it up. I'm going to keep doing the best case scenario. They said 10 days, so that would put us Wednesday, September 18th. And that's just to start throwing a baseball. Then you got to do the ramp up. Granted, he would not have missed as much time, but you got to throw the live BP. They can't do a rehab assignment because the minor league seasons are going to be over, so you can do sim games and all that. But there's not a whole lot of time. The regular season, 100% done. But maybe he's somebody who could be back and around and froggy and bouncing off the walls for an NLCS or something like that. But then it's like, if you got some guys who already got you through that first round and you have somebody coming back from injury, then we're back in that same scenario that the Dodgers seem to kind of find themselves in often enough, where I saw, somebody said on Twitter earlier, like, this season's been filled with hopefullys, and it might have been Jeff Spiegel saying this season's been filled with too many, like, hopefullys, and this could happen. Like, there's so many what ifs. If this guy comes, if this and all of that. If this happens, if X happens, then Y. Well, why not start him in the NLCS or whatever? I kind of lost my train of thought on that one, but there's just too many ifs, and then we've seen that in the past. Like, Kershaw maybe shouldn't have pitched. Dustin May, he's going to come back. He's going to be a part of the rotation or whatever. You can't keep doing that. You cannot keep hoping for dudes to come back late in the season and make that difference. They need to stop doing that. So the season might be done is the point I'm getting to here. The season just really might be done for Gavin Stone. And that really, really has to suck for Stone, who's had a phenomenal year. Yeah, he had a very, very rough stretch of about 6 starts, I think it was, in July, but he put together a great rebound in August and was pitching his way to guaranteeing himself a spot in the postseason rotation. But now, again, I do not see him finding a way back in time and being like worthwhile to with very little like ramp up or whatever, or he would not be facing pitchers or whatever, or batters. Again, it would be sim game situation, not again, but he would be not able to ramp up in the best way possible to plug him in and start a game, maybe in the NLCS. All of it. I just don't like it. I don't like it. And I'm worried about the Dodgers maybe going that route. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of end it here. I'm going to say thank you, Gavin Stone, for your service. Hopefully things work out, and hopefully if he does, throw that pick up a baseball again in 10 days from now, and he feels good, and they throw a sim game or something like that, they advance him straight. It won't be that, though. The thing is, they'll do a bullpen, and then 2 or 3 days later, it'll be a sim game, and then maybe you activate him from there, and he's at like 4 innings and 65 pitches or whatever. But is that going to be enough? If they get him back, like somehow get him back for the final start of the season or whatever, is that enough to warrant a spot in the NLDS? Or if he's throwing sim games during the NLDS and he has to, they have to make that tough decision, pull somebody off the roster for the NLCS and put him back on. Again, I think at this point right now, the season's done. The season is done for Gavin Stone. That's where I'm at. Of course, Clayton Kershaw, Tyler Glasnow, somewhere in the mix amongst all of these guys that will be around, available. And I understand it could be viewed as, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It's not like one-siderism or whatever. But if I don't think Stone is ready, and I don't like the hopefully they'll be back. I know right now we're just having a conversation, guys. This is me just kind of dealing with my worry with Gavin Stone and my worry with the organization deciding to hope and wait for guys to come back. But then I'll say Tyler Glasnow, who's missed the better part of the last month, he's somebody they're fully expect him to come back and possibly start game 1, game 2, game 3, or whatever it may be. Good news on the Glasnow front, but also good news on the Clayton Kershaw front, sort of. But let's do this. Let's get into Dodgers news and notes right now. The latest from the IL, Glasnow is going to throw a 25. No, he threw a 25-pitch bullpen session on Saturday. You got another bullpen coming up tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, and according to Dave Roberts, it's going to be, quote, more aggressive of a bullpen. But after that, the plan is, if there are no setbacks, the plan is he'd throw a sim game in Atlanta on Friday, and then maybe could be activated. More likely would need to throw to another sim game or something like that, but it could be activated then. So if we're doing sim game, let's look at the calendar again here on my computadora. So if we are throwing a sim game on Friday, and then you're pushing them out 5 days after that, your best case scenario is next Wednesday, Tyler Glasnow returns, and he's got 2 starts. He would have 2 starts, kind of abbreviated starts. Once again, just kind of uncomfortable. Not kind of. These are uncomfortable situations and scenarios the Dodgers find themselves in. The clock is ticking. The clock is straight up ticking on your boy Tyler Glasnow. It's worth noting, Dodgers are lining up to get a first-round bye. I think they got a 4-game lead to guarantee a first-round bye. So that would help a little bit, but still, there's not enough in-game action, real game action versus major league hitters, in my opinion. Like, sim games are all well and good, but that competitive edge is missing in those. So the Dodgers once again find themselves in a tough situation. Speaking of tough situation, I see Los Dodgers in the chat says if we see Kershaw in the playoffs, we're doomed. Well, there is Kershaw news. He's got the foot thing. He's got the toe thing, but he's keeping the arm loose. He's throwing. Saw him over the weekend. Had one foot on a chair, and he's throwing the baseball, which, by the way, dude getting some juice on that baseball despite not being able to actually push off. But today he's throwing off of a mound, and did not have his shoes on, did not have his left shoe on, his left cleat on, which I'm sure Skechers is super thrilled about. But he's one of those guys too, Clayton Kershaw. All of a sudden, he's somebody who's trying to make his work his way back. I don't know how I feel about Clayton Kershaw. I don't know how you guys feel about Clayton Kershaw and his sudden need or sudden importance again of bouncing back. But BL Boyd saying Kershaw better not even sniff being on the postseason roster or we're doomed. Los Dodgers is correct. Nando 390, we don't need another Kershaw meme. Another October Kershaw meme. Bob Nightingale from Skechers to Stretchers. I clap for that one. I appreciate that. I love you, Kersh, but I don't know. Maybe a bullpen role. Maybe. 3-inning guy, even if we don't have 4 starters. Maybe a 3-inning guy. But tough situation there for Kershaw. Good to see him bouncing back, but still, just so late in the season. Coming back from a major shoulder injury, major shoulder surgery. Had a decent little stretch of games there, but then it just kind of, didn't do so well in that alleged foot game. I don't know what to do with Clayton Kershaw there. Eng says, love Kershaw, but hope he stays out of the playoffs. I don't know if everybody shares that same sentiment. It seems that that's where the where the comments are at. GI wouldn't like it, but Kershaw is a potential Game 4 starter. It's a much better option than leaning on him to be the number 1 guy like we did last year. 1,000% for sure. But thinking about Game 4 potentially being a deciding game as well, it's unsettling. It's an unsettling feeling. Ivy Strokin's got a really good point. Says we need to talk. We need me to talk shit about Kershaw. I need to mean it though. I need to mean it. Like at this point, Clayton's done so much for this organization, for us as Dodgers fans. It's hard to talk shit about Kershaw, but the numbers there tell you, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for him to not be on a postseason roster or to not be in that starting rotation. Let's talk about more positive news. Brusdar Graterol, by all accounts, should be ready to return yet. Got a little bit of a weird update today from Dave Roberts. So they say he'll be back on Wednesday now, the bazooka, and allegedly he is in playoff mode already. He's got the mindset going. But Dave said he's going to be back on Wednesday, and right now the biggest thing holding up his return is something called roster gymnastics. Got to talk to Kershaw, or you got to talk to Dave about that one, guys. It just sounds like they're waiting to burn one more arm before needing to make another DFA, or somebody gets real injured and goes on the Phantom IL. We're already going to need to make a move, I believe, right, for Yamamoto tomorrow. So a lot of roster gymnastics. We're still not done. Watch your roster spot, or don't put a lot of stuff in your locker. Brent Honeywell, Joe Kelly, 60-day IL option. Throwing that out there, but I want to see Bazooka. I would rather see, what do we have, 8 pitches of Brusdar Graterol this year. I'd rather see that, what that can be, over what we know exactly what Joe Kelly is. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but, GI bringing up Nick Ramirez. Again, another DFA for Nick Ramirez. There's a couple options there. Not surprised at all. They DFA'd Michael Peterson, by the way, over the weekend. He was one of those guys that I very much had circled on my DFA calendar. So, throwing that out there. But anyways, Cole, that's rough. Painful for me, I should say. Cole says Dodger pitching jinx was the writing was on the wall when Dustin May choked on a chicken bone. We don't know if it was actually a chicken bone or whatever, but when you tear your esophagus, fucking Dustin May. Dude's cursed. He's the modern Darren Dreifert right there. Diane Schroeder's in the chat, coming in after her early dinner in the OC. She wants you guys to hit that like and subscribe button, of course. And we'll do that before we move on. Let's look ahead to this Cubs series, guys. We are getting closer to first pitch. I'll stop for a second saying I don't know what all of that Gavin Stone section of the show was. It was more so I think you guys are sitting here through me talking myself through some sort of therapy. But I appreciate you guys hanging out through it. It means a lot. But yeah, Cubs series preview. We got something. We got a couple things, a couple storylines to be looking forward to. One, welcome back Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We'll clap to that, and we'll hit the gong and the money bell and all that for Richard Flores. $4.99 Super Chat says he would love to see another Kershaw postseason start. Sincerely, the Petco Park video board operator. Ooh, first ever boo on a Super Chat right there. But also you right. So Yamamoto, that's your number one storyline there. What is he going to do against the Chicago Cubs? And the B storyline is, yes, Cody Bellinger returns again to Dodger Stadium. That's cool. I don't care. He had a good run. He had a very, very good 3-season run. Capped it off in the 4th season with a World Series title. Gave his shoulder to this team, but the signs were already there. He was already struggling in 20. He was struggling in the second half of 19, even in that MVP season. All that said, I'll throw an early prediction here. He's 100,000% hitting a homer against somebody. It's probably, like I said earlier in the show, it's going to be off Walker Buehler. But bare minimum, you got one belly bomb coming to Dodger Stadium in this series, possibly two. I had somebody asking if Michael Busch was going to go off. I don't think Michael Busch has a big series, he said, even though he's probably going to now. But let's look at these probables. Let's make some predictions, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Yes, Walker Buehler makes his next start tonight against Kyle Hendricks. Two dudes with pretty nice resumes, but very, very bad numbers in 2024. That said, I will reiterate what we said earlier in the show. I think this is it. This is the start. We see the best version of Walker Buehler since like 21, since like early 22. I think he goes off. I really do think my boy Butane goes off. So I've got tonight's start circled, and again, I'll be in the Discord, hopefully gloating and celebrating, or possibly crying with everybody. Luckily, we got a little bit of this bottle left in case I need to do the crying, because if Buehler does not have a good start, I'm very worried about this Dodger starting rotation outlook. Game 2. You got good news. Yoshinobu Yamamoto making his triumphant return to the active roster. He goes against Shota Imanaga, Mike Imanaga the second, if you're nasty. Really got to look forward to that game on a Taco Tuesday. Japan is going to be all in, all eyes in Japan on Los Angeles, because that is a hell of a matchup there. Imanaga Any other year, this dude is I mean, he's probably going to finish third in the Rookie of the Year voting. We talked to Sahadev. I keep messing it up, but the Athletic beat writer for the Cubs, and he also co-hosts North Side Territory, part of our Foul Territory family. He was talking about the Imanaga start and how good he's been and how consistent he's been for this organization. And not even arguably, he has been their most consistent starter. He's essentially their ace, which tells you kind of where the Cubs are at. They're a little ways away from competing. He should probably be a 2 or 3. Still, that said, he's very good, should be in the running for Rookie of the Year, but the point I was getting to is he's also 30. He's a veteran. 30. Yeah, I'm a man. Whatever. I'm gonna stop doing that one. But anyways, watch the game on Tuesday. It'll be a good one. I might F around and do a post game. I don't know. And then Wednesday, our favorite pitcher, TBD. I haven't seen if they announced one yet, but Dodgers throwing up to be named later against Jordan Wicks. That's a dude. So Dodgers win 2. Dodgers win 2 of these 3 games. I think we're just going to keep seeing that. Keep winning series. That's all this team's got to do. Got a little update here to mix in. Go back a segment talking about the Kershaw situation here. Clayton Kershaw did speak with reporters today. This coming from Fabian Ardaya, saying he has not closed the door on returning this season, but acknowledged that he cannot have any delays at this point. As he's trying to bounce back from that left big toe, the painful left big toe. So Kershaw's around. I think he will pitch. He will always find a way to pitch unless his forearm is falling off or falling apart. I think he will find a way to pitch for this team, whether he's doing it as a starter. He's got to earn that, and I don't think there are. I don't think he's better than 4 other guys, even with Walker Buehler in that mix. I take Buehler over Clayton Kershaw. BC says so many shows, such little time. Yeah, I can think back to the good old days where I was kind of the only mofo doing this. Me and my guy Greg Bergman back in the day. Anyways, that's about it. You guys got any predictions before we get out of here? And then, we'll do the thing. Grizzly Oso in the chat, also a supporter here on the YouTube member, says, should I post up Jobu now on the Discord? Yeah, I think so. We need Jobu. We got a lot of Jobu going on in Discord right now. Maybe that helps. Eng is predicting 4 innings and 2 runs for Yamamoto tomorrow. That's pretty solid. I got 4 and 65. Probably a run. I'm going to go with a run. The punch is there, but he's going to walk a couple of guys. It has been a little bit. So 4 and a third. I'm going 4 and a third. He'll pitch into the 5th because why not? Right now, Cubs bats. Very much struggling. GI is predicting Dodgers 8, Cubs 2 tonight. Diane Schroeder says I predict the Dodgers will be just fine. Now you sound like Noah Ortega. Sergio Sound says smoke weed, not drugs. This is not an endorsement unless we get a sponsor that says I should endorse it. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's enough of a show today, guys. Right at an hour. We got 10 minutes till first pitch, so that's what I'm going to give you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the great questions and comments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a more interactive stream. I like it when it's just, you and us. Me and you, I should say. Because we could talk more. We could do more things and all that kind of stuff. Also got to thank people for the Super Chat, especially our guy, Left Field Pavilion, with that $100 Super Chat. I took a massive shot, and your boy's feeling it a little bit. So yeah, gotta shout that out. Want to make sure I give some love to the channel members here on YouTube and of course on Patreon. You guys, really do help this show and help the channel. If any of you guys are looking for a different way to support the show, support me, the channel, the independent Dodgers baseball coverage here on the internet for a much pricier, a cheaper price is what I'm going with. That's a word. Cheaper price than the price of a Dodger dog. Check out that Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg. Ivy Strokin just dropped the link in the live chat, so we appreciate you there. But everything you can get on Patreon is also on YouTube members. Click that join button somewhere around $5 a month. Like I said, it's super cheap. And if you can't do that or you don't want to do that, just hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate that. Shout out to the moderators for doing a kick-ass job making this the best chat on the internet. Best chat on the internet. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. Go check that out. Go do that thing. Go get in that $200,000 pool, whatever it was I said earlier in the show. Anyways, I'm Real FRG on the social media things. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Hit that subscribe on the way out. If you're not subscribed, it's completely free. And I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.